Всем здравствуйте, меня зовут Бермет. Вот вчера я очень много рассказывала про именно тему искусства и еда, искусство и экология. Я бы сейчас хотела начать с видео, чтобы вот как-то подытожить как раз то, что сейчас рассказывала Анна, и как, извиняюсь, Клара, и как структурировать мысли, как это все происходит. Так, слышно?
Да.
И видно, да?
Их намного больше, чем мы думаем.
Или нет?
Видно.
Дело не только в том, что 1 300 000 000 тонн еды выбрасывается на помойку. Количество достаточное для 3-кратного обеспечения всех голодных на этой земле. Наши мусорные ведра переполнены тем, что мы не видим. Будь то север, юг, восток или запад, пищевые отходы и потери урожая касаются всех. В развивающихся странах треть продовольствия теряется из-за плохого хранения и транспортировки. В промышленно развитых странах такая же доля просто выбрасывается в торговле, в общественном питании и в домашних хозяйствах. С каждым килограммом еды, попадающим в мусор, мы не только разбазариваем драгоценное питание. В гораздо большей степени мы разбазариваем ресурсы, необходимые для производства продовольствия: воду, почву и энергию, труд и инвестиции. Экспортируя продукты питания и корма для животных, страны экспортируют и свои скудные ресурсы. С каждым выброшенным яблоком мы теряем такое же количество воды, которое хватило бы на 7 спусков воды в туалете. На один гамбургер уходит 2400 литров воды. Только его мясная часть уносит 2200 литров. Съедая один единственный гамбургер, мы потребляем воду, которая заполнила бы 16 ванн. Расточительство молока и мяса особенно проблематично. На продукты животного происхождения уходит невообразимое количество почвы и воды, особенно при орошении и выращивании кормов. Поголовью скота необходимо 70% общей площади сельскохозяйственных угодий. Стейк в 200 граммов, например, требует пахотную площадь в 7 квадратных метров. Это означает, что с каждым выброшенным стейком мы транжирим почву, на которой можно было бы вырастить 27 килограммов картофеля. Все, что вносит свой вклад в дефицит ресурсов, в конечном счете делает продукты дороже. Это же касается и ресурсов пахотных площадей. Перепроизводство негативно воздействует на саму суть сельского хозяйства. Несколько миллиардов тонн плодородной почвы ежегодно теряются безвозвратно. Остается выщелоченная, непродуктивная земля. Сокращая бессмысленные пищевые отходы, мы сможем вернуть плодородные почвы, чтобы прокормить растущее население мира. Промышленное производство пищи и удобрений, их хранение и логистика очень энергоемки. Но энергии требуется еще больше для обработки и глубокой заморозки пищи. Более того, быстро растущее поголовье скота производит больше парниковых газов, чем весь транспорт всего мира. Поэтому пищевые отходы среди лидеров по выбросам парниковых газов. Какой же нормальный менеджер потерпит 33% ежегодных потерь? Различные причины расточительства продовольствия требуют различных решений. В развивающихся странах акцент должен делаться на инфраструктуру. Особенно скоропортящиеся продукты должны надлежащим образом храниться и быстро транспортироваться. Развивая логистику и обеспечивая гарантию закупок, потери продовольствия могут быть значительно уменьшены. В промышленно развитых странах политики, предприниматели и потребители должны изменить свои зачастую абсурдные стандарты красоты на фрукты и овощи, пересмотреть бессмысленную маркировку и предоставить информацию о правильном хранении и приготовлении. Покупайте только то, что вам действительно необходимо. Потребляйте мясо в умеренных количествах. Если вы слишком много купили или приготовили, вы можете этим поделиться. Это очень просто. Экономить пищу.
Okay. Hi everyone who joined us. Is it okay with English or we can switch to Russian? Okay. So I mean, if everyone understands, it's okay. Again, my name is Bermet Borubaeva, and today I have a chance to continue with topics that we started yesterday. But today I really want to go precisely to the biopolitics of political economy and food production. Like all that we already touched today and yesterday, it's like, I hope you quite get that it's super like not eco-friendly system and etc. For those who wasn't yesterday, I just want to say that I'm a student of School of Contemporary Art artist. I graduated 11 years ago, and now we even started our platform with students and now our colleagues. So today we also have like this event, like in collaboration with Bishkek School of Contemporary Art and Oberlicht. And our work with environmental issues started with 2 trash festivals. So it was quite long ago, and and then I moved to Moscow to study. So I participated in event of waste cooking dinner at CCA Fabrica because I worked there. So it was in Eco Cup Festival, and we picked some food that with some reasons was not eatable, and made some dinner. And during people saw this movie, Waste Cooking. And I saw after this, I saw different practices. I wanted just to share also today, like very diverse practices around the world that I met. For example, this one is Kaspar Koenig. He is making Donate to Curate, at Manifesto 11 at Zurich. You know this Zurich? It's like, I don't know how to say, the heart of capitalism and consumerism. And somewhere here, the guy just picked some like trashed food, veg and fruits, and cook some soup together. So for me, it was super like interesting, and just people can come and enjoy the meal. And for this topic, I really like the book of Caroline Steele, Hungry City. It's like my table book. Because actually Caroline Steele, I really like her as a person, actually. She's an architect and super interesting woman for me. She's like, working with this architecture and etc. But she also like always like was interested in food, and this book, it was her research for last 20 years, I don't know. And this Utopia book, it's maybe her like philosophical view how to build the cities, actually, because today we have this problem of wasting food because we have a very high percent of urbanization. So all people just go to big cities, and that's why we have this disproportion of food production and food consumption. And in this book, she talks a lot about, like, for example, how markets are important for cities, why it's like really like live products when farmers come to market in the city and sell directly to the consumers their products. There is no chains between visitors and producers. Yes, and we have these reasons why we losing so many food. It's also it's different reasons, but it's with producing, with delivering, with consumption. And
sorry, do you have some screen sharing? Are you showing some presentation or just talking? Because I don't see anything.
Okay, we will start to share it now. Again, thank you that you told it about this, because we have так. So I will just continue with speaking and try to make this. Yeah. Окно. So it's possible to see it now? Yes? Okay, perfect. Can you see it like full screen?
No, actually, now I also don't see any presentation.
No? Okay. Говорят, что нету презентации. У вас тоже не видно? Или... сейчас я попробую. Попробую PDF. Или... Просто картинки. Так. Если я сделаю просто демонстрацию экрана, вот так вот сейчас видно что-то?
Да, мы видим экран. Ну, я вижу экран.
И вот так видно, да?
Да, отлично, да.
Ага, супер. Так. Ага. Да, сейчас видно, да?
Да, все отлично.
Слышно эти звуки ужасные, как оно передвигается?
Да не, вроде
Все хорошо.
подвигается.
Да, вот. Я просто так буду чуть пролистывать, что мы уже пропустили. Вот. И получается то, что у нас есть очень много разных источников того, откуда вообще идут потери, но проблема the problem is that we have this system of global trading, that big multinational corporation maybe like monopolized the whole global market of food. So now it's like several companies just own our whole world. They have all their rules, how to, and they really decide what we will eat or what we not. And it's actually something that maybe it's difficult to imagine, but it is. And maybe you know such kind of things like a Snickers, for example, or Nestle chocolate. So it's something that you can meet like in all corners of the world, and it makes us clear that it's not some kind like it can be not some brand that we know so good, but it's really like something that building and creating this system and decide. And also they really like it's very important that also they regulate the labor market on this sphere, because they can pay very cheap price for labor. And yeah, and that it's just poor exploitation. Yeah, it's like maybe 10 companies and the majority of the population, they eat mostly these products. So now you can see it's like Mars, Milky Way, Coca-Cola, British foods, and etc. And for example, Nestle, they like one of the largest company. Yesterday I told a bit about my experiment after this movie, Waste Cooking. I decided to make my own experiment, and 1 month I lived in Moscow without going to supermarkets and cafe that I'm normally used to. And it was really like I had several sources, like, for example, markets. I took some not good veggie, as you can see, and it's like quite low, cheap price. and also I took something from food sharing pages. So I actually thought that I really will die from hunger during this 1 month, but I understood that like it's too many food for me, and even like after these experiments, maybe 2-3 years, I'm still living with minimum consumption of from supermarket. So I usually eat something that really can be trashed, and I'm already used to have some minimal resources and try to have it like, and yeah, and of course I some kind asked to join this. And it's another initiative that calls friganili. So friganism, it's like something that when you go to dumpster diving, so it's also another term that you just go to trash can near supermarkets and took all this food. And sometimes it's like really big amounts. And food is instead bombs. It's quite popular initiative. We have there is in St. Petersburg, but I think in many countries there are also this initiative. Нищие ленивые веганки. It's also one of the initiatives. So it's like poor, lazy vegan. That just food only, like vegan food, and also food sharing in Russia. So it was also quite popular, and now it's getting bigger. And yes, with colleagues, Nelia Jamanbaeva and Jamila, we wanted to make something in Bishkek, and we made food sharing Bishkek, and it's really like every day something was throwing away from like café or I don't know supermarkets, and we try to agree with these persons and give it to homeless center for homeless people, or just to old women and who live alone, because they're really like suffering that they have don't enough food. Yes, and in the center, I went to this center, and sometimes when we have food, yes, they like also can serve some nice cakes, and I mean these people never ate such have opportunity to eat such cakes and in regular basis. So, and yeah, if you we really used to go to supermarket, and for example in Moldova it's I think very big problem, because there are a lot of local farmers who even cannot sell the food inside supermarkets, but it's a global system that maybe transporting and spending a lot of resources to bring this food from another countries, like apples, for example, and local farmers have no any opportunity to sell apples. And yeah, it's how these big corporations with supermarket, grocery, killing local production. And I think for Moldova and countries like Moldova, like Kyrgyzstan especially, it's very big issues, and it should be like a lot of initiatives who really fight for this system and try to, I don't know, somehow organize the alternative, or to put some local farmers to the shelves of supermarkets, because you know, it's like it's for them it's a source of life, and if they have no opportunity to sell the food today, for next year they will be not growing this food. So, and it's like every year is very important, and yes, we always should think about it, and it's like remember that eating is political act. So every time you eat something, it means that you like protest against the system or just support. So, and it's another. Da?
You mentioned supermarkets like special activity, but why do you see it so important the presence of farmers merchandise inside supermarkets? Because in Moldova, I see that a lot of agricultural really prefer to do themselves, like they take the space to make their own, just online super unformalized commerce, or they find these fairs, weekend fairs, where you can just come to the table, sell a lot of stuff. So I think from what I saw, which is of course not a global perspective, but I think it's not even for them such a thing to be in supermarkets when they have much simpler ways where they don't pay a lot of taxes and they're not so regulated.
Yeah, because also the problem of supermarkets that they can put price sometimes even twice more. So and they really press producers to get it to give them food as much cheaper as they can. So they really like abusing them. I don't know. It's like really big pressure because in this case, farmers also should create something to make it cheaper. So they also try to save money, and that's why in the end we have very bad quality food with the high prices. Yes, I agree that markets and some direct trading, it's very alternative. I'm just saying that it should be super big, this network of that people first it's comfortable for them to use it, like because supermarkets sometimes working 24 hours and markets not. But I don't know what should be happens, but I think some kind of make some balance. Another alternative, it was made by Flying Cooperation. It's like some kind of art collective. They made Flying Café. So it's some kind of art project. So that's why they made a list what kind of products you can share. And instead of, they took this, so it's like kind of barter. They took some products, and in the end, people get dinner. So it's like also, alternative how you can deal with this and how you can create some alternatives. And I really like it, this project. So another project I made in Mexico, it's a very interesting space and collective called Crater Invertido. So it's mostly like artists or I don't know, philosophers, cultural workers. They have very like in common their space, like a workshop. They're creating there some printing production. They're creating some, I don't know, they have even radio and small shop where they can sell their products. And one of the projects, they have also like food for communities. They have, for example, collective from like, I don't know, 30 person, and they have like instruction how everyone can prepare food. So it means that when you have like 30 person and they like make dinner like with couples, and it means that you cooking only 2 times a month. That is like super cool, because other months some other people's cooking, and it's really saving you some time and energy. So you can I don't know, freely sit and read, I don't know, Marx or whatever, the books you like. And it's, if you calculate for 1 month, it's really like how many how much time you spend for just cooking and washing dishes and etc. So it's quite consuming time and energy. And when you like in collective, and it's also cheaper because you can buy products like a bit less price. So it's another one project that we did in Eco Cup with Eco Cup together. But another movie was about yes, it was wasted. The history of wasted food. Yeah, it was like this, and this movie, documentary movie about chief cooks, like super internationally famous, like I don't know, like working with Scandinavian kitchen or Italian, like Massimo Bottura. She is one of the top of the 15 best, I don't know, restaurants in the world. So he is the first one. And Massimo Bottura is here in this movie. And he, for example, telling his stories that when he was a child, he really, for him, was the most delicious dessert when his grandmom, she was collecting this bread crops like during the day and put some milk in the end and sugar in the end of evening and bring it to him. And so for this guy now is super like fancy chief. It was the most delicious thing. And he's also telling his story in this movie, and he also made the trattoria in Milan. The trattoria, it's and there they're collecting also food and serve it, mostly for homeless people, but actually anyone can come. So I really like this idea, and it's there is everything in this movie. So, and during the movie screening, we also made some kind of dinner, and we had some fruits and vegetables from the shop that also, it's also left over. So according to the Russian rules, they have to throw it away. And I took some also veggie from the from the market. So you see that how it looks like, just really frozen and not so like then when people want to buy it, you know. And we and I met invited to this project Nikita Podyryagin. She's like super talented guy, and she's a chief cook of my favorite restaurant Bern. And they also tried in their kitchen reduce all wasted. So the principle of the kitchen is like zero waste. And it's in Russia where there is no separation, like recycling, like on municipal level. And I really like him. So we had, and also we just put some food that people was just see, food that really like every day should be wasted. And he's, I don't know, he's, and people really like very fast collected this food from the tables. We did not expect this. Yeah, it's Nikita. He is super young. He was like 23 years old when he became a chief. And there is a delicious food he created from some leftovers that we bring. So you can see how delicious it looks like now. So it's like some kind of pumpkin jelly or pumpkin stones or some crunchy, I don't know, stuff. And it looks also very super beautiful. It's like unbelievable that it can be some kind of wasted food. Yeah, and people really also like it. And for me, it's always like, people, you are like wasting it like every time, and when you can like eat it like with such delicious. For me, it's like always mistake. And yeah, it's another initiative, like experience that I had, that I worked in a kitchen of Moscow cafe. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, after like being like cultural workers, and I'm used to have like quite normal graphic. I had maybe 18th, 16th working hours like every day during almost half a year. And in the end, I went to the migration service, and I have to prolong my registration. And they told me that the labor agreement that I have, they're actually like fake. And it was like, what? It's like, what the fuck? It's like, really was like, I was super angry. And yeah, I calculated, because it means that all taxes that they took out from our salary, it just went directly to their pockets. It was like my salary was like quite low because I tried to escape the job. But normally people working there, they have like every week, 6 days a week, near 15 hours per day. So it's like super like and they're just like dying, after this. It's super heavy to stay, and all day you just cutting, and it's super like dangerous because there's these stoves and super high degree temperatures. And like from one workers, they saving like near $100, and like and they have maybe like 300, like 500 workers. So it's like already you see, yes, it's like 100 and it's like 500. So it's like very high big amount money for 1 month, and for 1 year. How they just like collecting this money, and they are like making a crime. And yeah, and one cook workers that I met, he told me that he works there like 5 years. So this system is existing quite a lot of time. So you can calculate it how, and they paid them like anyway super cheap, because it's mostly labor migrants from Central Asia, and they have no like other choice to work. So it's like super toxic labor relationship to feed like and to like be competitive on Moscow cafe market. So we decided with Polina Nikitina, one artist, a Moscow artist, created some comics about this. And it's also we put how, for example, guys saying, it's so long they are taking our dishes. It's like already 5 minutes left when we made the order. So it's like, and the girl and the woman say it like, so they will stay without tips, we're trying to show that these two sides, how really like working conditions and the consumers, that they already used to the food served for 5 minutes. And actually in this restaurant, all food was in plastic bags. And only thing that we do with the hot dishes, we just put it to microwave and make it hot. And that's all, because it was already made on factory, and came with like net of cafes like this. And for example, porridge was also, you put a bit milk and put it to microwave. So, and it was like super like expensive. It's like for one dish, it's like near 10 leis. Just it's like, I don't know, 10 euro. How? Yeah, so it's very important issues because it's people who stay in this delivering and producing. It's a huge amount of workers. They're really like suffering on these conditions. And it's like totally like, I don't know, after this working, I felt like on my own body how it's hard to be there. And this comics dedicated to one guy from Kyrgyzstan, Artik. He's was died on after 11th hours working in delivery service. He was like super young, 21, and he didn't like any problems with heart, but it's super like intensive work. And actually, yes, I work as a courier as well, but in this, but I was like a bit like free courier. I don't, just taking some orders. But in this system, it's like totally, I don't know, unhuman relations, conditions, and we can call it like Uberization, because like this Uber, like cyber applications for working, like this Uber, Yandex services, when you really like dying on your work. Because, for example, my brother, he's also working now in Moscow in taxi, and he taking cars for 16 hours. So it's actually not like economically good for him to do not use all these 16 hours, and that's why he can work like 16 hours. But it's very dangerous, and it's, I don't know, spoiling your all like health. In the end, you are just losing health and time and energy, and really have nothing. Because my friend calculated how much Uber companies have in the end, like, and like with amortization, with health repairing, health care, and in the end it was like more than zero, less than zero. So it's like not possible actually to work there, but people have to have this job. So it's another project that I made last year, I think. With it was project we made with Anna Fatyanova in Switzerland. She's a director of Kunstraum Dry Viertel in Bern, and she invited me to make this project that we called Still Life. So we just, the idea was transform just white cube space, a gallery, to something that we can call like waste cooking cafe. So we collected something like this, that you see that these zucchinis people just do not eat in Switzerland at all. Everywhere, there is this, for example, Madame Frigo. They have open fridges, and inside sometimes there are a lot of such zucchinis. And there is one shop as bar that's selling this, and you can take it. So, and I made some dumplings from this zucchini. It was super tasty. But yeah, normally, really, the people like throwing away, but they're eating dumplings very fast. So, and it was like, yeah, not like, also with bread, it's also this big problem, because like second day bread for Switzerland, people mostly like, why should I eat it? It's like already not fresh and not good. And we had some cheese, goat cheese. So And in the end, it was looks like super nice, the space. We like really like created the atmosphere of cafe, and we had a lot of food that like can be really like wasted. I made some pizza. It's also the dough. It's also made from bread. So I collected these 2 days bread and made a dough again and put some this zucchini again. So mostly I had zucchini and apples and bread, and I made all this diversity of food. Yeah, and bread as it is, and dumplings. Yeah, so I made some kind of really like diversity of food. Yes. Yeah, it's like performance, culinary performance. And for example, this cake, it looks like super shiny and like sunny. It was like made from carrot, and it's also like just simple bread that was, I just like blend it and put some, I don't know, spices inside, and it was super nice cake. Carrot cake was like really brilliant, and cheesecake made also with like yogurt that was like already almost expired, and I put like cacao inside, and the basis was also from bread. So it was like, like if people really saw this ingredient that I'm cooking, they really will never like understand, you know. But in the end, it was like for the opening, it was super nice, and we actually had this restaurant for 7 like days, like every day we cooked. For example, you see this. It's super cool. I don't know. I collected just berries in the forest close to me. So there is like forest. The Yuzvika, and of course Swiss people do not go to this forest to collect these berries, but they go to supermarket to buy it for high prices. Super high prices, and I was like, what? And they really also like these cakes because it's super great. I was even didn't expect it that it can be so good. And these bases, it's also bread from bread, so it's like quite old bread and berries from like forest, so it's like nothing. But yeah, it was super good on plate. And yeah, we had, yeah, as I told, we had zucchini and bread and some kind of pizza. And yeah, it looks was the look of our cafe was super nice. You can see that it's yeah, it's near 1 week. Yes, every day we prepared something new, and people really like this idea, and I really like that people come to every day to our cafe. So it became like meeting point first, and second, because we created, but like we didn't have so much tables, and we put one big. And people sit there and communicate. So actually, our working hours from cafe was until 10 p.m. But we sit there every day until like 11 midnight, because people just liked this place, and it was so nice, so comfortable, and interesting. And I like it that there were many people from diverse layers, like social layers. I don't know, because it was free and open for everyone. And people, it was like some neighbors, some our friends, artists, or just people just passed by this cafe, and they thought and so, and we invited them. So it was like super great, and it was some kind of collectioners from other cities came because they know that it's like art project, they came to visit it. So it was like super different multi-layers communication.
So the food was free, right?
Yes. They was able to give some donate, but in the end it was maybe like 20 francs of donating, like during this 6 weeks, but maybe it was not so popular, I don't know. Yeah, and I think it's last one that I want to say. After this exhibition in Switzerland, I went to the Serbia, to Belgrade, for a program in like curating, but I had really nice collaboration, very unexpected and unplanned, with the Mini Pogan. I saw just in Facebook advertisement this exhibition, Rethinking Reproduction, and I was really curious, what is this and what is this guy doing this? And when I came, they making like this. They created by the oven, the machine, crushing the plastic, and they producing this with refuge center. And and during my stay in Serbia, I didn't have so much money actually, and I didn't. And yeah, usually I'm used to have some food, so I went just to market, and I just showing really like real photos how it looks like maybe evening or even daytime, how this product is really wasting. You see that it can be really nice apples and they are like trashed. So just people who selling it, they just put out quite like apples and etc. that not good or start to, but looks not good or already spoiling, but anyway it can be some selection, and they even stay some flowers that I thought very nice flowers. Why I shouldn't take it? So I just put it like together and created this some kind of still lives also natural and I really like it. And this thing that is, I think, also important is you see this just leaves that always like trashed, but it's super like healthy food actually. And I also took it and just cut it and a bit fried with this cabbage that I also and tomatoes that I also find in this market. And in the end, you can have a very nice and tasty soup. Just put some water, and it's super healthy. And it's just nothing. I mean, it's all was fresh. And this mini pogon, this machine looks like this. So you put some plastics, and it can be something nice. And I collaborated with them and suggested to make some kind of also rethinking of reproduction food. And we had this performance like Recycle Kitchen at the finissage of the exhibition. And I collected also these apples and etc. and made some also cakes, some pies. It was like very nice and tasty, but as you saw, it was just in somewhere in market, just garbage it. So, and last status that I want to say, as you saw that it's super like diverse layers inside the food, that it also goes to philosophy, economics, politics, society, and even love. It's a political economy of this food production, and it's super strong. That the system that we have now, like the 1/3 of wasting food, it's the result of our capitalistic system. It's not like because we are bad or stupid. It's really like a capitalistic system that have this monopoly, and and Caroline Steele in her book Citopia, thinking how it can be in the end. So it's maybe it's like how it can be created, but anyway, this chain, it's even super diverse, and there is even connection between like all these spheres, and that's why it's like there is only thesis that all food production cannot be owned only by 10 companies in the world. So this monopoly that we should like ruin anyway, if we want to have the this system destroyed. Yeah, and yeah, now it's something like this, and it's her thesis, and yeah, about food and power relations. Yeah, and we can go after this directly to the like democracy of inside. Yeah, and in the end, as an artist and like cultural workers, I can add that I trying to use all my resources, all my knowledges, and etc. to just show how problem is big and what we can do. Yeah, so it's thank you for your attention, and if you have something to ask or to share with us, you are really welcome. Okay.
You mentioned you use research, and you also use different ways to visualize this.
Mm-hmm.
This issue.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like the only tools you use, or you were thinking also to use some other projects?
Yeah.
What is the spectrum of possibilities as an artist for you to engage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me it's like visualization. Yes, I'm like trying to use it like where I can, but also for me, what we talked about with Max yesterday, it's also language, how we can produce new meanings. And I have my projects, what I can, what I want to do. But I think I'm already dreaming about this since I had idea maybe several years, and I wanted to share it with it when I made it, because it's very like complicated a bit. I mean, now I'm really going to make some kind of bigger projects, working with mostly like infrastructure or local communities that really can make like stable but super like alternative or something new for them, but very simple, like super simple. So my two ideas of two like curatorial project in Moscow mostly. So I need to go there first, and then yes, I start to work there. But yeah, I'm really like I will be happy if I will make if I will be able to make this.
But why in Moscow?
There are some facilities first for this, and yeah, maybe it would be possible even to make it in Bishkek. We will see.
It's connection with food.
Yeah, it once with food, another with labor, but with food, yeah, because I think in Bishkek it's a bit easier because we have more like, I don't know, we have cheaper food than in Moscow, and people like can at least have it like with not so high prices, because in Moscow it's like super high prices. If you do not have money, so you like out of system of malnutrition, like at all.
Mhm.